Hi everyone, it's Christy, and I just wanted to touch base with everybody again. Life's been a little rough for me for a couple of months, and between working a lot, not making any money what I was working on, and battling some serious depression issues, just haven't had anything to post. Not for lack of trying. I actually recorded a start to a couple of jewelry making ones, but I didn't like how they looked. And I fully recorded the sugar scrub, but when I looked it over, it just wasn't right. I did not like the way everything looked. And I'm not asking everything to be perfect. That is not it. Not at all. More that I just happen to like it to not look like it's cheap and badly made. So as a result, I just haven't had anything to do. On top of that, there was a huge debacle with my phone. Debacle, something like that. With my phone where it wasn't working, and then it was working, and it died. And I thought I couldn't get a phone. I didn't ask the right people questions, and I went almost a month with no phone. Finally, I did ask the right people questions, and it was, oh yeah, totally have a phone. Just, stop by on Friday, and boom, done. So, no money went out, got a new phone, finally happy, able to communicate with the outside world. Unfortunately, that lack caused me to kind of drift away from Snapchat and Instagram because I just didn't have access to it. So I'm trying to get back into it, but my problem now is I don't have a job. So I had a little bit of money come in, and a couple of things went through, two of which I asked for, one of which I did not, but I couldn't change my mind on it then. Praying I can get some money in for next month so I can at least keep two of these things coming. I haven't canceled my glossy box, but I haven't received it for a while. And I have the comic book nerd block coming, I don't know, probably in a week or so. But I will have, later this week, I will be releasing my Ipsy bag. I missed a month of that. And I got in to Sephora Play. So that'll be showing up later this week as well. And I'm just going to have to figure out, maybe I'll do look of the days, or I will figure out how to show you what I do when I make my jewelry. It's just a little difficult. I may also do something special for National Novel Writing Month, or as I often call it, Nano. This year, I actually have an idea. Now, when I say idea, I mean I have a very, very vague thought process as to what I'm going to do. The first year I did Nano, my idea was Time Cop meets The Time Machine meets Christie's Brain. And I wrote a book that'll probably never be published called The Quintessence of Time. And then the following year, what did I write year 2? I don't even remember. I think I started off with one idea and I ended up with a different one. I don't even know. So I'm going to look it up because this is going to bother me. One of the rules of Nano is to always back up your files. And as a result, I have everything in a handy dandy folder in Dropbox called Nano. So 2010, my Nano book originally was titled One Summer and became The Quintessence of Time. The next year, that was it. The next year I started watching, I think I had a different idea when I started. Did I have? Yeah, I started off with a story called The Seer, and it was a multi-timeline, same location, people all connected story. And I did a lot of research. I built characters. I had all this stuff. And I got like very little into the story. And I went, I don't care. And then I started doing one called The Charming Lines. Originally it was titled Retelling Tales, but I call it The Charming Lines. And it's this retelling of fantasy, well, not a fantasy. It's a retelling of fairy tales in somewhat more modern times with some fantasy, sci-fi, steampunk elements to it. I did it all that year. Charming Lines is something I'm actually kind of working on getting out. The next year, I started a story called The Key to the Fae. And if I'm not mistaken, I started it and then I was really distracted with schoolwork and ended up including all of my schoolwork to reach my word count goal. I didn't feel it was cheating because I wrote a lot that year. Let's see, 2013, I don't think I had a Nano story that year. 2014, oh yes, 2 years ago. 2014 is the year I wrote over 9,000 words. I started a bunch of stories, and when I reached a point where I kind of got stuck, I would move on to the next piece. And each story was started with a prompt. I would pull out this little tin, and I had like 60 prompts in there, and I'd pull out a prompt and I would say, all right, and I'd start writing based off of that prompt. And then about halfway through, not quite, I think about 40,000, 40 to almost 50, I pulled out a prompt. I think it was The Paragons of Innocence. And I started writing. And the next thing I knew, I had a trilogy of novellas. The first one was about 20,000 words. I think the second one is like 12, and the third one is about 8. So yeah, it was about 40,000 on just that trilogy. And I wrote over 90,000 words in 30 days. I probably should have explained that further. Nano is National Novel Writing Month, and the goal is to write 50,000 words in 30 days. And everyone goes, oh my God, you can't do it. You totally can do it. I have known quite a few people who not only do it, but either succeed early. 2014, one of my very good friends and I, Stacy, she finished 2 days before I did. We both hit 50,000 words. I ran out of steam about 3 days before the end, and I could not reach 100,000. But we both won before the half of the month was done. And I have known people who have won within 3 days. You don't have to do that. The goal is to write 1,667 words per day and continue on. And you'll write a novel. So I wrote 90,000, like 90, 95,000, I don't remember for sure. Last year I did not write for Nano. I was very, very serious about getting my website up and running, and I set a goal of having it designed and basically set to have customers, and then so many products listed would equal so many words written. And I think by the end of the month I had over 300 items listed, and I counted it as 50,000 words. So I actually technically won. I used it for something else. So as you can see, for me, the more I plan, and I've planned out stories twice, and they've flopped. Usually less than 3 or 4 days in. I go, I don't care, I just don't like this story anymore. And then another idea pops into my head. The retelling of fairy tales, that was the year Once Upon a Time came out. And I went, ooh, I really like this. So I retold the stories in my own way. So I'll do some sort of a diary, like a weekly discussion of something, and I'll even share it. Who knows? My idea this month is, or for next month, is very, very vague. But usually I do well with vague. So anyway, like I said, I just wanted to touch base with everybody. Really sorry I was, for the radio silence. I am applying for jobs like all over the place. I just happen to have a couple of things in a semi-recent background that make it incredibly hard to get a job. Ever have one of those days where everything seems to just go wrong? Yeah. So the reason the video looks a little different is because the batteries in my camera died. And when I went to find new batteries, I actually found some. Some, awesome batteries. Yeah, they're dead. Brand new, too. Well, okay, not brand new, but newly opened. So, I'm just gonna say goodbye and have a great week.